Hello, I'm Benjamin McAvoy, and I wanted to talk about the upcoming series of Anna Karenina lectures. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be the first series of pop-up lectures dedicated to just one novel from Hardcore University, the Hardcore University lecture series. You might have been following along with the podcast, Hardcore Literature. I know many of you watching or interested have actually emailed me specifically about this lecture series. This lecture series, although it was kind of in the back of my mind, this was not fully my idea. This was actually the idea of multiple people who reached out to me asking to do a dedicated series of lectures for Anna Karenina. There's 8 parts to this wonderful novel. So there's going to be 8 primary lectures. Each lecture is going to be anywhere from 45 minutes to a bit over an hour. Those are 8 core lectures, and they're designed to run alongside your reading of this wonderful novel. Whether this is the first time you're reading it or the second time, regardless, you are going to get so much more out of this novel, and there is so much to get out of this novel. You're going to live this novel, and we're going to really mine the depths of this wonderful work. So you read a part, and each part is about 100 pages. Okay, so you can divvy that up, and that's only 10, 15, 20, depending on what your reading looks like, 15 pages per day. Okay, maybe you read 10 pages during the week, and then you have more time of the weekend, you read 25, 30 pages. Either way, 100 pages a week, that is very, very doable. And then there's a lecture on that section. There's also going to be some prefacing lectures. We're going to talk about Tolstoy's theory of art, the historical conditions surrounding the novel, any biographical stuff that's going to give rise to greater appreciation of this wonderful work, linguistic stuff, basically anything that you will need to know, things to look out for along the way. And there'll be some wrap-up lectures as well. So all in all, if we're talking just core video modules, there's going to be more than 10 hours worth of lectures, and it's meant to run alongside your reading the novel, preferably over 2 months, 8 weeks. If you want to do it longer, that's great. A lot of people really fall in love with Anna Karenina, and they just inhale it. I can understand that. Some people will inhale the novel in a week. If you want to do that, that's fine. But if you're the sort of person who can read it that quickly, I would actually highly recommend that once you've done the first reading, you reread it again, endlessly, alongside the lectures. But my prime recommendation is for you to slow down and take your time. This is a lost art in this current day. A lot of people come to books like Anna Karenina, and they want to treat it like a book bucket list. We talk about TBRs, to be read lists. Tick, onto the next one. But it's kind of like travelling, okay? Just say you've got 2 weeks, okay? And you want to go travelling. A lot of people, they'll go on the Euro rail and they'll go around Europe. You can't do it at the moment, obviously, with the lockdown situation. But people will try to squeeze in as many countries as possible in whatever time frame they have. So if you've got 2 weeks, people try to do 14 countries and hop about. That's no way to appreciate what you're seeing in front of you. There's no way to engage with the present moment. That's no way to get these really valuable life lessons, and basically just to enjoy yourself. So we want to become more present. We want to really ponder and consider what we're reading, and we want to engage with the text in a loving manner, and with each other. So it's going to be interactive, and it's going to be iterative. Iterative means that we are building upon everything. So somebody professes an idea, comes up with a hypothesis, or maybe you're taking marginalia, and we'll talk about marginalia and note-taking, and there's just a silly idea in the margins. And you think, oh, this is a fruitless idea, this is not going to go anywhere. Well, those ideas very often go very, very far if you know how to engage with them. Either way, so many people fall in love with Anna Karenina. I know that I did, but it's a sort of love-hate relationship, because Anna Karenina, it's a book that comes out of the earth. It is like nature. It's like life itself. So there's a lot of uncomfortable moments. There's long stretches that are supposed to be boring. There's long stretches that are boring and painful and then give rise to insight. There's a lot of foundational parts of the novel that change literature, change the paradigms through which we think, and change them forever. Tolstoy was the first author to go into the childbirthing room and show a woman giving birth. You're reading a text that is a strong proponent of women's liberation, equal rights, and yet it's troublesome, because we'll learn more about Tolstoy himself, and he was a conflicted man. Many would say he was a misogynistic man. Many would say he was an unpleasant man. And yet he managed to craft a work of art that he himself thought was immoral. His theory of art, which we'll talk about, flew in the face of many theories of art that I personally engage with. Oscar Wilde's, Walter Pater's, art for art's sake. Tolstoy's theory of art says that the work must be moral, and he deemed Anna Karenina to be a deeply immoral work, just like Shakespeare, deeply immoral. So throughout the course of the series, you're going to ask yourself whether it is immoral, and you're going to ask yourself a lot more questions. Now, I'm hesitant to give any spoilers, so I'm going to be very, very careful. Many people will know things that happen in the novel, because actually it's a classic and it's hard to not know because it's gone into the culture. Yeah. But if you don't know, I'm working on the assumption that you might not know, or you might not know the full ramifications of where the novel goes. So no spoilers. But we will ask ourselves questions whether certain things had to happen, whether they were inevitable, who was responsible for them, and many more questions. Questions that will change the way you think about your day-to-day life, your relationships, will sharpen your skills of empathy, help you to not only talk to yourself better, ask yourself better questions and answer them and reflect and be comfortable reflecting and going into periods of introspection, but help you engage with other people. Okay? This sounds like a contradiction, art for art's sake. Okay? It sounds like I'm saying that art has no social utility. But really, if you change out of necessity from reading a great work like Anna Karenina, this is a work that expands your consciousness, like Proust, like Shakespeare. You can feel your consciousness expanding. You can feel yourself changing. Now, that's the thing. We can't feel ourselves changing over the course of our lives. We're very, very lucky if we can perceive 2 or 3 key changes. And we don't really understand the full ramifications of them. But when we read a great novel like Anna Karenina, we feel ourselves changing. And hopefully we change for the better. So in a roundabout way, reading Anna Karenina deeply does have social utility. And we can change the world by reading well and changing ourselves. Okay, Anna Karenina is a wonderful, wonderful book. It's a Bildungsroman, okay? It has deep, psychologically complex characterization. The characters in Anna Karenina, you will come to know them better than you know real people in your life, your friends and family. You will take their concerns on as though they were your own. You will live there in the novel, and you will change. And it might be uncomfortable at times, but you will never forget this experience. Okay, I'm thinking of putting out, this is a tentative release date, thinking 14th of February for the first enrolment, and that will be this year, 2021. 14th of February, why? It's Valentine's Day, and I think we can all agree that it's been a troublesome year, hasn't it? So let's treat ourselves kindly. Let's give ourselves a loving gift, the gift of slow reading, a great novel. So I hope to see you in there, hope to see you enrolling, and I hope that you have a good time. It's a great novel. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to learn a lot. Okay? And that's it. If you have any questions about the course, please let me know. There'll be more information coming out. I'll put together some different materials and stuff. You can sign up to the email newsletter and put your name down for enrolment, and you'll get straight in when it opens. So thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. Bye-bye.